When I was around 4 or 5, I started the just normal classes that most little kids do in gymnastics. And then my sister had started competitive right when I was starting there, and I realized I wanted to follow her because I thought what she did was really cool. And so then when I was 7 and I was old enough to join the competitive team, I chose to. When I started, it was just all for fun. Even as a competitive at 7, 8 years old, it was just fun. I enjoyed going to practices. I enjoyed competing. It was all just fun. It was what I did. It was just normal. So it started when I was around 9, and I changed to a different gym. And it's just you're always in a leotard. You're wearing you're not wearing a lot of clothes in just general, and you're just in leotards around everyone. And when I was around 9, 10, I just noticed that all the older kids were getting kind of criticized by the coaches for how they look. And then it kind of stuck in me and was oh, well, they want you to look thin. They want you to look a certain way. You have to stay that. You can't look like them, even though they were perfectly fine, as I later realized. But they were just criticized, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to end up being criticized like they were.
So with a young female athlete going into gymnastics, they just want to have fun. They want to experience all that they can. But then when it comes into the seriousness and the competitiveness, they get compared to what their body looks like and how they perform and what needs to change. Do they need to hit a number on scale? Do they need to be more muscular to be able to do different stunts? All of that comes into a play and a factor.
From what I can remember, I was in 5th grade, and we were planning a family vacation, and I was already really light. I was thin and normal, but I decided that I wanted to get even thinner just for the looks of how it was from gymnastics and being at a beach and stuff.
So what did you do?
I would cut back on my calories and the food I ate and just work out more. It got the worst, my eating disorder, actually after I quit gymnastics, because when I did gymnastics, I was the prime look. I was tall, I was thin, I had long legs. I was told by multiple coaches that that's how you're supposed to look, long legs, thin, tall. I was the perfect build. They wanted that. But then once I quit and I'm not working out 20 hours a week, 20 plus hours, then I realized that I was gaining weight, as you should. And I was 13 at the time, and COVID had just hit, and then Chloe Ting was coming on, and I realized that, oh, I wanted to lose some weight. I didn't really like how I looked anymore. So I was doing Chloe Ting workouts in my room and cut back even more on the calories, and just was overworking out and not eating enough.
I was never aware of Hailey's struggles when she first came to PFP with her eating and from gymnastics. It wasn't until when she first had a conversation with me and kind of more opened up and shared what she had to share.
The first time I met Emily I was supposed to be in Alex's class, but she took over it. The first thing she told me, she was just you need to, the scale's not important. The number on the scale does not matter. And she told me the first thing to do is just stop doing that. She helped me realize that it's not about the number on the scale and how you look, it's about how you feel, how healthy you are. It's good to gain muscle, it's not a bad thing.
One of the big motivational messages I love with female athletes is talking about the weight on the scale, how it's not relevant. Biggest thing is because when you're in a gym, you're weightlifting and you're gonna gain muscle mass, and muscle weighs so much more than fat. So you might see the scale go up, but it doesn't break down what's going on in your body. You could look at the scale and oh my God, I'm getting bigger, I'm getting fatter, but in reality, you're getting extremely strong.
My physical transformation since going to PFP is gaining more weight, but gaining muscle. I've put up weights I genuinely didn't think I'd be able to put up 2 years ago when I started here. Like my back squat, my bench, and the progress isn't linear. Like I was able to do weights 2 weeks ago that I was not hitting yesterday or whatever, but it's still progress from where I started 2 years ago.
The transformation I've seen in Hailey is she's so much more outgoing. She's so confident. She is willing to try anything that she think might be difficult instead of like being scared to try. She's like going headfirst into the waters with it. And you can really see like after, it could be like putting more weight on the bar or trying something new outside of sports. It's like there's a huge transformation in her, and she's almost a different person.
PFP is just more than a gym. PFP helped my confidence levels in an extraordinary way. Like I went in here just terrified of the gym in general, and now I run around and just like act like my true self, and I joke around with my friends, and just like I've made more friends throughout being here, and like I've just been happier.
The weight on the scale doesn't matter. There's so many things and aspects that can affect that scale. Where you are now is who you're supposed to be. You're gonna have troubles, you're gonna have great moments, but it's how you look at those moments that makes you great. It's learning from the mistakes. It's having a positive outlook on life and never really getting down on yourself. Life is already so hard as it is. Why do you need to make it harder with hating yourself?